Hello and welcome, or welcome back to another edition of McKay Yoga. Today's video is going to be about the hips, and we'll work towards moving into pigeon pose. So we want to work with the hips in a way that we're externally rotating the hips, the thigh bones, and the hip socket. So movements like so, like a tree pose. Movements like so, like a figure four. Even movements like so, like horse or goddess, depending on which types of yoga you practice. So we're going to be focusing on opening up the hips. It's helpful if you have a couple of blocks. You could use a pillow, you could use a blanket, you could use a bolster. So if you're someone in a body that's tight, definitely you're going to want to get equipment. And if you're in a more open body, you probably don't need as much. So during me, I know it's hard to see because I'm wearing all black, but we're going to start reclined, laying down. And again, if your hips are tight, please have some blocks available, pillows, blankets, whatever it is that you can find around your home, around your space, that's going to help you to get into your hips. Laying on your backs, soles of the feet together, knees wide. Okay, so here's where you could use blocks. So if you have really tight hips, you're going to take the block or blocks to the outside edges of the knees and the thighs. And we'll start here. This is reclined cobbler's pose. So you want to feel that the inner thigh is moving towards the outer thigh. And for many of us, just being in this position, you're already going to feel a stretch of the inner thigh and groin and that rotation of the thigh bones in the hip socket. And try to breathe just as smoothly and as calmly as you can, in and out through your nose. When you're ready, take your hands to the outside edges of your knees and place the soles of your feet onto the back. Lift the head up, maybe tuck the chin a little bit, and then take that right outer ankle above your left knee, and then draw your left knee in towards you. You could hold on to the back of your left thigh. You could hold on to the front of the thigh. And then you could also extend that leg out straight. Take an inhale, place your feet back down onto the ground. And then when you exhale, take your left outer ankle above your right knee. Draw your right knee in towards you and then extend that leg up to the ceiling if your hamstrings will allow it. Otherwise, you're going to hold on to the back of that right thigh or the front of the shin. Try to feel that the lower back and the sacrum are anchored onto the ground, onto the mat, onto the earth. When you're ready, draw your knees in towards you, and then you can come into this happy baby dead bug position. And just want you to notice where your knees are as they relate to your armpits or to the sides of the mat, right? So kind of mentally be aware of where your thigh bones are in space. And then hug your knees in, lift your forehead up towards your knees. And then just rock up to sit up. And then place your blocks to one side so they're nearby. You can get to them pretty easily. And come into child's pose. Extend the arms forward and straight. Separate your hands the width of your shoulders. And then as you inhale, shift your weight forward. As you exhale, curl your toes under, lift your knees from the ground, down dog pose. Join your feet together and inhale, reach your right leg up and back, and then start to open up the hip. You can keep your right leg straight, you can bend the knee, you could look underneath your right shoulder. And then level off the hips, take an inhale. Exhale, bring the right foot down to meet the left. And then inhale, reach your left leg up and back. You can start to open up the hip. That left leg can stay straight. You can bend the knee. You can look underneath your left arm. And then level off your hips. And when you exhale, bring your left foot down to meet the right. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. So you're in a forward fold at the back edge of your mat. Have all 10 toes facing forward. And you can take hold of opposite elbows or biceps and let your upper body lengthen out over your lower body. Try to balance out the weight across the four corners of each foot. Let your head hang. Walk back out to down dog. And as you inhale, just glide forward to plank. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, down dog. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, down dog. And then 1 more time. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, reach your right leg backwards. Exhale, draw your right knee in towards you. Place your right foot forward, and then gently place your left knee down. So if you're on a hard surface, maybe double up your mat or pad the knee with something. Bring your hands to your outer hips and lift up and out of the sides of your waist. So sit up really tall. Reach your arms up to the ceiling, take an inhale. And then as you exhale, lean over to the right. Your right hand could drift towards the floor. You can hold on to your right outer hip. Stay here, inhale. Now when you exhale, bring your hands to the big toe side of your front foot and then roll to the little toe side of your right foot. So it's like a lifted pigeon, right? We're just starting to go in towards the hips. You can keep your arms straight. Again, if you're in a more open or more flexible body, you can come down to your elbows. Lengthen the heart forward. As you inhale, replace your right foot onto the mat. As you exhale, curl your back toes under. Step back to plank. Then lift your hips up and back, down dog. Inhale, left heel reaches backwards. Exhale, draw your knee in towards you. Left foot comes forward, right knee comes down, and then lift the torso to upright. So when you lift up, think of someone is holding you by your rib cage and they're lifting you up. So your torso is going to be really long. Reach your arms up, inhale, long, tall, along those lines. And then exhale, lean to the left. The left hand can reach towards the floor. You can have your left hand on your hip. Inhale, come back up. And then exhale, place your hands on the big toe side of your left foot and then roll to the little toe side of your left foot. Lengthen your chest forward. And you could either slide your right knee back or move your left foot more forward. Stay here to inhale. And when you exhale, place your left foot down, curl your back toes under, step back to plank, pause, lift your hips up and back, down dog. Begin to bring your feet forward to meet your hands. And as you inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale to fold back down. Now take your hands to the small of your back. This is a good place to use a strap or a towel. And any amount, reach your arms off of your back body. Let your head really hang. You can nod your head yes, nod your head no. Lengthen out. Fold over your legs. Then release the hands towards the floor. Lift your chest, inhale. Bow and fold, exhale. Take your hands to your outer hips. Draw the belly in. Inhale, come up to stand up. Exhale, release your arms to your sides and stand either with your feet together or hip socket distance apart. So you'll feel that you're more grounded, more balanced. Some of you with your feet together, some of you with your feet hip socket distance apart. And then lift your toes up. Lift your kneecaps, lift your quads. Lift your heart and chest up. Roll your shoulders back and down, chin level with the ground. As you inhale, stretch and reach your arms up. Look up. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Bow and fold. Inhale, lengthen your chest forward. Exhale to fold back down. Press down into your feet. Inhale. Reaching your arms up. Look up. Exhale, bring it back to center. So we'll do that one more time. That's a half sun salute. Inhale, reach your arms up. And if you are a subscriber, you know that I have videos just dedicated to the sun salutes. Now exhale, fold. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale to fold back down. Press down into your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring it back to center. Now come to the middle portion of your mat. Place your hands on your hips and separate your feet, not quite a leg's length distance, just shy of it. And then think of turning your leg bones out. So from the inner thigh to the outer thigh, and turn both of your legs out. So like I said earlier, this is horse or goddess pose, depending on what sort of traditions of yoga you practice. Place your hands on your outer hips. Take an inhale, and then exhale, begin to sit down. Lengthen your lower back towards the mat, and feel like you're kind of scooping your tailbone a little bit forward, placing your hands on your thighs, and just move a little bit from side to side. So we're just starting to, or continuing to, lubricate the hip joint, right? We know the hip joint is a ball and socket joint, so it has all degrees of motion. You're going to sit a little deeper in the center, and then exhale to stand, parallel your legs, and come to the front edge of your mat. And you're going to choose to stand either with your feet together or hip socket distance apart. Now that we've warmed up a little bit, we can remove one layer. If you're in Southern California, we've been experiencing a lot of rain, and it's been cold. So layers are important. Layers upon layers upon layers. And it's really not that cold. I mean, it's SoCal, come on. It's not like we're in New York where it's freezing. Okay, I digress. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up. Exhale, hinge from your hips and fold. Inhale, lengthen your heart forward. Exhale, step back to plank pose. Shift your weight forward, bend your elbows. Inhale to up dog. If you're not ready to up dog, you can do a cobra. And then exhale to down dog. Take a few breaths here. Now when you inhale, reach your right leg up and back. Bend the knee, and then just make a few circles with your right thigh bone in the hip socket. And then go the other direction of those circles. Take an inhale, and then exhale, level off the hips. Bring the right foot down to meet the left, and then you do the same thing with the left leg. Take the left leg up and back. Bend the knee, and then begin to make a few circles, rotating that thigh bone in the hip socket. And then reverse the direction of those circles. Take an inhale here, level off the hips. Exhale, bring the left foot down to meet the right. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, bring your feet forward. You can step them forward, you can jump them forward. Then exhale, bow and fold. Pressing down into your feet. Inhale, stand all the way up, reach up, look up. And then exhale, back to center. If you're lucky enough to have two blocks, you're going to place those blocks on either side of your mat. If you just have one block, you're just going to move that one block from side to side. So stand in the center of your mat. And now you are going to take your legs apart about a leg's length distance. Placing your hands on your hips. Rotate your right thigh bone so your right leg is turning out. Slightly pigeon toe your left foot. Line up your right heel with your left arch. Open your arms to the height of your shoulders. Take an inhale. And then when you exhale, bend your right knee coming into warrior two. Both arms are at the same height. Extend out through your fingertips. Draw the belly in. Lift up and out of the sides of your waist. Turn your palms to face up. And then reverse your warrior. Right arm up, left hand down. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale, you're going to take your forearm to your thigh if you have no block. Otherwise, if you do have a block, place that block at the little toe side of your right foot. Take your left hand to your left hip, pause there, and then rotate your left thigh bone, your left arm bone in the arm socket and reach your left arm forward and up. Coming into side angle pose. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. Press down into your feet. Inhale as you return to warrior two. Exhale, release your arms and parallel your legs. Hands on hips, rotate your left thigh bone in the hip socket. And then slightly pigeon toe your right toe so the right foot is turning in, and line up your left heel with the center of your right arch. Open your arms to the height of your shoulders, take an inhale here, and then exhale, bend your knee coming into warrior two, second side. If you notice, I adjusted my feet because the distance was not quite correct, so you want a leg's length distance between front foot and back foot, or the right heel of hand above your right outer ankle, the left heel of hand above your left knee. Rotate your arms, palms face up, reversing your warrior. Inhale as you come back to warrior two. Exhale, either your forearm to your thigh, hand to floor or block, right hand on right outer hip. Move your right shoulder behind you and then externally rotate your right arm bone in the arm socket. So you're getting that rotation in the arm and in the thigh. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. Keep your belly engaged. Inhale back to warrior two. And then exhale, release your arms, parallel your legs, and have the outside edges of your feet parallel to front and back edge of your mat. Reach your arms up to the ceiling, take an inhale, and then exhale, begin to fold forward. Have the outside edges of your feet parallel to front and back edge of the mat, and maintain the lift of the arches of the feet. Just let take these socks off because we are warming up. Inhale, lengthen your chest forward. Exhale, bow and fold. Let your head hang. Hands are separated about shoulder width. Elbows above the heels of the hands, and draw the elbows towards each other like you have something in between your elbows and you can hold on to them. Take an inhale here. Now when you exhale, bring your hands to your outer hips, let the head hang like your hands are a corset and they're drawing your waist in. Lead with your upper back. Inhale, come up to stand up. And then when you exhale, you're going to rotate that right thigh bone in the hip socket. Once again, slightly pigeon toe your left foot. Heel to arch alignment in your feet. Keep your hands on your hips. And then send your hips towards your left heel. Reach your right arm forward. Take an inhale, grow longer on the right side. And then exhale, let that right hand come to the block or the floor. And rotate your left arm in the arm socket. So now you're in triangle pose. Push down into the ground and rebound up through your top hand. Right side of your chest directly over your right thigh. And the back of your head is lining up with your lower back and tailbone. Push down into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release your arms, parallel your legs. Hands on hips, rotate your left thigh bone in the hip socket. Rotate your right foot in slightly. Line up heel to arch. Keep your hands on your hips and shift your pelvis back towards your right heel. Extend the left arm forward and try to get the left side of the waist and the right side of the waist to be equally long. That's difficult. Then inhale, reach forward, and exhale, bring the left hand down, right arm up. It's difficult, but doable. It's like you're trying to take all the wrinkles out of your shirt. Left side of your chest moving forward, right side of your chest moving backwards. So in triangle, you're just trying to create really long lines of energy. Smooth, steady inhales. Smooth, steady exhales. Push down into your feet. Inhale to come back up. Exhale, release your arms, parallel your legs, and join your feet together. And just pause here for a moment in Tadasana. Incorporating a little bit of balance. Draw your right knee in towards you. And if you can, hold on to the right ankle. Take the right sole of foot to the left thigh. Now, it's definitely easier if your foot is on skin, but if you have your yoga pants, just know that your foot might slip off. Not a big deal. You just come back into it. Bring your hands to your heart center. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, maybe grow the branches of your tree. Stay your inhale. Exhale, release the arms, release the leg, pause. Maybe bend the knees, straighten out the legs, reestablish your Tadasana. Okay, tree pose, second side. Draw your left knee in towards you. Maybe hold on to that ankle. Take that left foot high to the right inner thigh. Belly draws in, sacrum draws in. Hands to your heart. Foot to thigh, thigh to foot. Maybe you grow the branches of your tree. And my tree is wavering in the wind. Take an inhale, not so graceful. Exhale, hands to the heart. Release your foot down. Give yourself permission to fall in and out of poses. Trees move, so it's okay if you come in and out of a pose. Let's explore thread the needle. So we did thread the needle laying down at the start. We're going to do it standing up. Side view. Take your right outer ankle above your left knee. Block this close by if you need it. Hands on hips, and then like you're sitting into a one-legged chair. You can bring your hands to your heart. You can bring your hands to the block. You can bring your hands to the floor. So that left leg is bending, and some of you will be able to wrap your right foot around the left upper arm. Stay your inhale. Then when you exhale, kind of rebuild. Maybe place your hands on the block. Bring your hands to your heart, stand up, and then release your right foot down. Then we'll do the second side. Have all 10 toes pointing forward. Block is available if you need it. Left outer ankle above the right knee. Oh, if you're close to a wall space, you could have your hand on the wall. Flex your left foot, bend your right knee so your right leg is in like chair pose. Hands to heart, pause, and then continue to fold, perhaps taking your hand to the block, both of your hands to the blocks, bending the knee a lot, and maybe wrapping your left foot around your right upper arm. So feeling the sensation in the hips, allowing the head to hang, and then building it back up. Place your hands on the block, get steady, draw your belly in, slowly, maybe use the wall, come back up, bring your hands to the heart, release your foot, release your arms, and then place your blocks to one side. Come back to the front edge of your mat. Inhale, stretch and reach your arms up, look up. Exhale, hinge at your hips and fold. Inhale, lengthen your chest forward. And now when you exhale, step back to down dog. Reach your right leg up and back, take an inhale, and then open that hip once again and notice if there's any difference in the opening of the hip. The leg can be straight, you can bend the knee. Now as you exhale, you're gonna arc that leg forward and either come to a low lunge with your left knee down, which is what we did prior, or perhaps move into pigeon, heel toeing your right foot over towards your left hand, bending the knee, sliding your left leg back, maintaining the lift of the chest. Now you have equipment. You could use the block underneath the right hip if the right hip is really far off of the floor. And then staying upright will give you a little bit more of a back bend sensation. If you fold forward, more of a forward bend sensation. Take an inhale here. Now when you exhale, you're gonna lean to the right, bring your left foot forward, and you're gonna cross your shin. So now your left shin in front of your right shin, and you're just gonna pause in this seated position. Might feel a little askew because we haven't done the second side, but just pause here for a moment in Sukhasana, seated posture. Take an inhale here. And when you exhale, you're gonna lean backwards, hug your knees in, lift your shins up, and just balance here for just a little bit of abdominal. You can keep your knees bent or you can straighten out your legs coming into bow navasana. Then you're gonna cross your right ankle over your left, come back to down dog. Take an inhale, reach your left leg up and back, and notice if your hip is a little bit more open than when you first started the practice. Then bring your left foot forward, and you're either going to come to a low lunge, which we did earlier, right knee down, or heel toe your left foot over towards your right hand, left knee behind left hand, slide your right leg back, and now you're in pigeon, Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. That's a mouthful. Second side. Again, staying more upright, more of a back bend sensation. If you were to come forward, a forward bend sensation. So just observing what your body needs today. If there's a lot of space between your left outer hip and the floor, fill that space with a block, a blanket, a towel. You don't want your joints to be suspended. You want them to be supported. Tongue-tied. There's a little echo. Hopefully you didn't hear it. Stay here, inhale. And then exhale, lean a little bit to the left. You're gonna arc your foot over, cross your right shin in front of your left. And you've got a triangular shape in between the legs. And now it might feel a little bit more balanced now that we've done both sides. Pause here for a moment, shoulders over the eyes of the elbows, and just notice if you can sit more upright. Maybe there's a sensation of more open hips. Then lean backwards, draw your knees in towards you, reach your arms forward. It's a mini boat, Navasana. Or straighten the legs, full expression of Navasana, the boat pose. Hug the knees in, cross leg, left ankle over right. Come back to downward dog, take a moment. Pause here and breathe. Lower your knees, rest, child's pose for a moment. And then slowly bring yourself back up. And we'll revisit Baddha Konasana, how we started. We started in this position, recline. Now we're going to do it upright. Notice where your knees are in space. Maybe they dropped. Maybe as a result of the practice, the hips became more open. Lift the heart, lift the chest, take an inhale. And exhale any amount, fold forward. You could use the block in front of you for your hands. You could use the block in front of you to support your head. So there's always something to do with the props. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, slowly bring yourself up and either cross your right shin in front of your left or left shin in front of right. And take another moment to sit, pause, and breathe. Notice the sensations you may be feeling in your hips. It is said that we hold a lot of tension in our hips, so it is good for us to practice yoga. It is good for us to practice opening up our hips. Many reasons to do yoga. This is a big part of it, being able to sit. Bring your hands to your heart center. Allow your heart to lift up and your mind to bow towards your heart. Thank you so much for taking time to do a little bit of yoga with me. Peace out, yogis. Ciao for now. And don't forget, hit that red button to subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and then hit that notification bell so that you can be notified anytime I go live or I upload new content. Thank you so much, my YouTube community. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Ciao for now. Peace out, yogis.